when you came off the mound in the 7th, you got a standing ovation. How cool is that?
Yeah, it was really cool. Obviously, big rubber match here. It was 1-1, big game, kind of keep us rolling, get some momentum. So just to be able, go out there, throw a good one. Defense was great behind me, and then kind of get deep into the 7th inning. That was huge. We're looking for some length today with the amount of guys that threw, just kind of keep arms healthy and stuff. So again, really cool moment. When Muni's behind us, it's tough to beat us. So just really special.
Was there anything about your specific approach that you thought was working particularly well?
Yeah, I always just try to kind of mix stuff up. Obviously, first pitch strikes are huge, staying in the zone, and just kind of mix different off-speed pitches. I feel like first couple innings just left a couple pitches down the middle. They put good swings on it, but after that, I feel like I did a good job staying out of the middle, and then obviously let the defense work behind me. A couple great plays. Got Longo right here, made a couple stellar ones out there. So it's just really nice knowing I got really great defense behind me, and then it feels like we hit like 100 home runs a game, so that's always nice to get some run support.
When you know that you have to go deep into a game because there were so many pitchers that threw last night, does that kind of change the mindset heading into this one?
Maybe a little bit. I feel like it always, it comes down to just executing pitches. But I think a big thing when you're trying to go deep in a game, just limit the free passes, limit, the walks, hit by pitches, stuff like that. Had a couple of them, but just being able to, I think I turned to 1 or 2 double plays we got back there. And just kind of trying to get in and out of the dugout quick, let the offense, have long innings, and then when you go out there, make it quick. So, yeah.
There was only one walk, but a lot of, long counts, full counts. How did you limit, making sure that you didn't throw that ball forward?
Yeah, I feel like there's frustration when you do get behind in the count, but just kind of staying present, understanding that I always tell myself like I'm always one pitch away. If I execute this pitch, the hitter's going to get themselves out. So just kind of staying with that good, positive mentality, and that helped, stay in those at-bats and then eventually getting out.
Okay, and going off of that, a lot of arms being used yesterday, did you feel like you had any extra pressure on you to perform knowing that there weren't as many guys ready in the bullpen?
No, not really. I know we got guys that are in the pen, the rest of everybody in there, we trust them all. So just doing my job, whether it was 1 inning or 2 innings, coming in after Kleck, just doing the same thing he was, getting ahead of hitters, getting after hitters, and being able to get them out early and limit the amount of pitches. And obviously we both did a great job at that. We had 1 walk this whole game, so just being able to attack hitters and go right after them was kind of like the biggest key, especially after the past couple of games. So I feel like we just executed on that part.
Dominic, you've played center and now third base. What's the adjustment going back and forth?
I think the biggest adjustment for me is honestly my arm slot. From going from the outfield to the infield, I think that's been the biggest thing, is adjusting the arm. Other than that, I just, going out there, being an athlete and giving it all I got. It's honestly kind of fun to be able to switch in between both those positions.
Dominic, you talked about your arm slot there. You saw you bounce a couple of throws there. Was that kind of intentional as you're kind of trying to get the feel of it?
Yeah, a few of those I was kind of off balance, for sure. Just coming up from that play, I definitely don't want to miss high, and especially with coming in from the outfield with a long arm, trying to short arm it, definitely trying to miss low rather than high.
Do you have a preference now between outfield and third base? Is there one where you'd rather be at, or is it just wherever you're needed?
I think that third and center are honestly some of my favorite positions on the field. So I really don't have a preference, but I enjoy the hell out of playing both.
How does it feel to have a couple of web gems out there today? You had a few.
Oh, it was great. Love it. Every opportunity I get to have a wedge gem, I'm going to take it. So.
Coach Bloomquist talked a lot about, after Friday, wanting to focus more on the process, less on the result. Do you guys think you were more process-oriented today?
Yeah, I think when you try to focus on results, it just takes you out of the present moment, and this game's already really hard in itself. So anything you do that might limit how you can perform mentally, and it's not even about the physical stuff most of the time, I think you're just hurting yourself. So we kind of came together, and like you said, the emphasis was on the process and how can we just execute our job in that moment. And I think we did a really good job with that today on both sides of the ball, and obviously came out with a win and took the series.
The offense was 0-for-8 with runners in scoring position, but still put up 5 runs. What does it say about the group that even when you're struggling in one aspect of the game, you can still come through and perform?
It's awesome. It's a cool little tool that we got, that we can always put together. Is if we're not gonna score them by hits than we'll score them by home runs with power or walks or whatever it is. You know, I think it's awesome having both, and we're just working on perfecting both.
There were a lot of talks about intensity, especially following Friday night with all the objections and stuff. How do you feel like you brought more intensity throughout the weekend, especially today?
Yeah, the intensity was good. I think that, you know, coming off of Friday, it was tough, you know, seeing the coaches or seeing our head coach and then Brody getting ejected. But at the end of the day, that's baseball, and we got to go out there and play our game. And you know, we flipped it around Saturday and today, and that's what's required of us. So that's what we're gonna do. So that was good.
With Landon's home run today, he didn't tie, but he matched Barry Bonds. What was Barry Bonds' highest single season total at ASU? Just how cool is it to hear that about your teammate?
Wild.
Yeah, we call him Harry Bonds. So, yeah, I mean, Kid Rake's pretty fun to pitch behind him, knowing like any AB could just launch a homer, go backside double. It's pretty sweet. So, yeah.
For any of you guys, obviously huge rubber match today with the events that transpired over this weekend. Just what was Coach Bloomquist's message to the team before this one?
Out intensity them. They came with a lot of fire Friday night, and then you know Saturday was looking like it was going to be kind of easy game. They pushed in the ninth, but you know toughest team wins in one of those games. You know bad teams could fold there, end up losing the game, but offense came back, battled, walk-off win, and then today was really, I mean the message is toughest team wins on Sunday, right? Two couple tough games, super high intensity, super high energy. So how are we going to go out and match them? And I feel like we did a good job early with that, especially you know scoring 2 in the first, back-to-back homers. That kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. And then you know you do that through a whole 9 innings, come out with the win.
Hey Cole, since the day you transferred here, Willie and the rest of the coaching staff have been so outspoken. Just how much they love that you're part of the team now. What has their support throughout the season kind of meant to you?
Means everything. You know, I've kind of talked about like being home here. It feels great with the support, not only from like fans, family and stuff, but to even add on to that, just the coaching staff and just the whole locker room here, the environment we get, it truly is like a family environment. So just knowing, you know, you got 40, 50 other people, you know, behind you, rooting with you and, you know, going to war with you, it makes it so much easier to perform at a high level.